welcome to Seriously Read a Book. My name is John, and today we are going to read Little Miss Giggles by Roger Hargreaves. This is part of a book series that I've done a few of, and that a lot of you seem to like, so we're going to keep reading them. Here we go. Can you giggle and eat cornflakes at the same time? Little Miss Giggles could. Do you giggle while you sleep? Little Miss Giggles did. Can you giggle while you brush your teeth? Little Miss Giggles could. She was the giggliest girl in the world, and she lived in Chuckle Cottage. But one day, one terrible day last summer, you'll never guess what happened. She lost her giggle. Just like that. Gone. She had woken up giggling, as usual. She had giggled her way down the stairs, as usual. And she giggled while she was having breakfast, as usual. But while she was out walking in the woods around Chuckle Cottage, she realized that she wasn't giggling. She stopped walking. That's odd, she thought. Now, ordinarily, she would have giggled to herself, but not today. She tried to giggle. Nothing happened. She tried again. Nothing happened again. Oh dear, she thought miserably. And as she walked along, a little tear trickled down her cheek. She met Mr. Happy, who was out for his usual morning stroll. "Hello, Little Miss Giggles," he laughed. "And how are you today?" But then he noticed her sad little face. "What's wrong?" he asked anxiously. "You're the happiest person I know." He paused. "Next to myself, of course," he added hastily. "I've lost my giggle," she explained miserably. "Lost your giggle?" he asked, befuddled. Mr. Happy scratched his head. He said. "Well, we'll just have to find it again, won't we?" Little Miss Giggles nodded, but not very hopefully. "Come on," he said, and taking her by the hand, he took her off to see Mr. Funny. "There's nobody like Mr. Funny for a giggle," Mr. Happy said. "It sounds promising." "Whoa, look at this guy." But it was no use. Mr. Funny tried and tried to get her to giggle, chuckle, or even smile, but Little Miss Giggles just couldn't. "Tell you what," said Mr. Funny, "I'll tell you my very latest joke. Made it up myself," he added modestly. "Very funny." He was laughing so hard he could hardly tell the joke. When he had finished, he and Mr. Happy nearly fell over. They were laughing so much. But not Miss Giggles. Look at her. "It's no use," she sighed. "I'm going to be miserable for the rest of my life. I know I am." Then she thought for a moment. "And I'll have to change my name." She sobbed, and she started to cry again. Big, fat tears. Oh dear. So Mr. Happy took her to see Mr. Topsy-Turvy to ask his advice. "Morning, good," he said cheerfully. Then he caught sight of Little Miss Giggles' sad face. "Matter the whats?" he asked. He always spoke back to front. Mr. Happy explained what had happened. "Dear, oh," Mr. Topsy-Turvy explained. Then he thought. "Doctor," he said, "Doctor the sea to her take." "That's a good idea," said Mr. Happy, and took her right away to see Dr. Make-You-Well. Oh, there he is. Mr. Happy told the doctor all about Little Miss Giggles' lack of giggle. He said, "Stick out your tongue." "Not you, you silly Billy," he said to Mr. Happy. Little Miss Giggles stuck out her tongue. "Looks all right to me," said Dr. Make-You-Well. "Open your mouth." Dr. Make-You-Well peered inside. He said again. "You're right. Not a giggle in sight." "I'm sorry," he added, "but there's nothing I can do for you. You just have to wait for your giggle to come back." Poor little Miss Giggles. Oh. Mr. Happy took her home, and by this time, even he was not his cheerful self. What a sorry sight. Oh, they're both not happy, don't you think? "Why don't you try to giggle?" he said hopefully. Little Miss Giggles opened her mouth. "Ha, ha, ha," she said unhappily. "He, she said miserably. "Ho, ho, ho," she added mournfully. It was no use at all. "I'm sorry I can't help," said Mr. Happy as they reached the garden gate of Chuckle Cottage, and as little Miss Giggles went sadly through her front door, Mr. Happy went home to think. The idea came to him while he was having lunch. He rubbed his hands with glee. Oh my goodness, look at how happy he is. He rubbed his hands with glee. He chortled to himself. And later that afternoon, he knocked on the front door of Chuckle Cottage. "Who's there?" asked a sad little voice. "It's me!" called out Mr. Happy. "I have a present for you." What do you think it is? Any ideas? Guess we'll find out. Look at this. Little Miss Giggles, looking absolutely miserable, opened the door. "Here you are," said Mr. Happy, and handed her a large box. On top of the box, in large letters, it said, "One giggle, medium size, this side up, handle with care." Little Miss Giggles looked at the box in amazement. "What is it?" she asked. "What it says it is," laughed Mr. Happy. "You lost your giggle, so I got you another one." "That giggle cost me a lot of money," he added. Little Miss Giggles opened the box. "But there's nothing in it," she exclaimed. "Of course not," said Mr. Happy. "Giggles are invisible." "But that's absolutely ridiculous," said Little Miss Giggles. "Is it?" said Mr. Happy. "Of course it is." She giggled. She giggled! She giggled! And that's Little Miss Giggles by Roger Hargreaves. Hope you guys liked it. Like and subscribe, y'all. Thanks for watching Seriously Read a Book. See you next time. Bye.